name is Rachel, and what I'm about to tell you happened 6 years ago when I was working as a 911 dispatcher in a small county in Oregon. I've heard a lot of disturbing calls in my career, but this one still keeps me up at night. It was a Tuesday night, around 2:47 a.m. The graveyard shift was usually quiet in our area, just the occasional drunk driver report or domestic dispute. I was halfway through my lukewarm coffee when the call came through. The line was silent at first, just static, heavy breathing. 911, what's your emergency? I said, using my trained, calm voice. Nothing. Hello? This is 911. Can you hear me? Then a whisper, so faint I almost missed it. He's in the house. My heart rate picked up. Female voice. Young. Terrified. Ma'am, are you in danger right now? Where are you? I'm hiding in the closet upstairs. He doesn't know I'm here yet. I immediately started tracing the call while keeping her on the line. My supervisor, Tom, noticed my body language and came over. Okay, stay with me. What's your name? Jennifer. Jennifer Caldwell. Please, you have to send someone. He killed my roommate. There's so much blood. Her voice cracked. I could hear her trying not to sob. Jennifer, help is on the way. I need you to stay quiet and stay hidden. Can you tell me what happened? We were watching TV. Around midnight. Then Katie went to the kitchen to get snacks, and I heard her scream. By the time I got there, this man was standing over her with a knife. So much blood. I ran upstairs before he saw me. The address popped up on my screen. Rural area. Officers were already dispatched, but it would take them at least 12 minutes to get there. 12 minutes can feel like a lifetime. Jennifer, you're doing great. Just keep breathing quietly. The police will be there soon. Then I heard it through the phone. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, creaking on old wooden stairs. Jennifer's breathing became ragged. Panicked. He's coming upstairs, she whispered, so quietly I had to turn up my headset volume. Oh God, he's coming. Stay absolutely still. Don't make a sound. The footsteps grew louder through the phone. I could hear him walking down the hallway. Then they stopped, right outside her door. I held my breath. Jennifer had gone completely silent. Then, closet door creaked open on the call. Jennifer screamed. A man's voice, calm and cold, said, "Found you." The line went chaotic. Struggling. Jennifer screaming. A sickening thud. Then, silence. Jennifer? Jennifer. Someone picked up the phone. Heavy breathing. Then that same cold voice spoke directly to me. She's with her friend now. My blood ran ice cold. The police are almost there. You need to. He laughed. Not maniacal. Worse. Casual. Like he just heard a mildly funny joke. I'll be gone long before they arrive. But Rachel, that is your name, isn't it? I can see your name on the call system here. Rachel Morrison. You should lock your doors tonight. The call ended. Police arrived 9 minutes after the call started. They found Katie's body in the kitchen. Jennifer was in the upstairs closet, barely alive. She survived, but she's never been the same. They never caught him. No fingerprints. No DNA. Like a ghost. But here's what haunts me most. 2 weeks after that call, I got home from my shift around 3 a.m. As I was unlocking my door, I noticed something on my doorstep. A phone. An old flip phone. I picked it up, and it immediately started ringing. Against every instinct, I answered. That same cold voice whispered, "Good instincts, Rachel. You told her exactly what to do. Too bad it wasn't enough." Then he hung up. I filed a report, changed my locks, moved apartments 6 months later. But sometimes, late at night, my phone rings. No caller ID, just silence when I answer. And I swear, I can hear him breathing. My name is Kevin, and I need to tell you about the worst mistake I ever made as a police officer. It was a 911 call that should have been routine. It wasn't. I was 3 years into my job with the police department in a suburb outside of Detroit. March 14th, 2018. I remember the date because it was my daughter's 8th birthday, and I was supposed to be off duty. But Officer Mills called in sick, so I took a shift. The call came in at 6:23 p.m. Domestic disturbance. Woman called saying her boyfriend was acting erratically and she was scared. The address given was 4738 Maple Grove Avenue. My partner, Chris, and I took the call. It was in a decent neighborhood. Nice houses. Tree-lined streets. We figured it'd be straightforward. Separate them. Calm things down. Maybe make an arrest if needed. We pulled up to what we thought was 4738. White house. Green shutters. Porch light on. We should have double-checked the address. Chris knocked. Police. We got a call from this residence. No answer. We could hear movement inside. Something crashing. A muffled shout. We're coming in. Chris announced. The door was unlocked. We entered, hands on our weapons, following protocol. The living room was dark except for the TV flickering. Furniture was overturned. We moved through cautiously. Police. Make yourself known. That's when we heard it. A woman crying, coming from upstairs. Chris and I exchanged looks and headed up. The crying was coming from the bedroom at the end of the hall. Door slightly ajar. Chris pushed it open. What we saw. God, I still see it when I close my eyes. A woman was tied to a chair in the middle of the room. Duct tape over her mouth. Eyes wide with terror. But she wasn't looking at us. She was looking behind us. I spun around just as someone rushed from the closet. Man in his 40s, wild-eyed, holding a tire iron. He swung at Chris, who barely dodged it. Dropped the weapon. I shouted, "Dry my gun." The man didn't drop it. He charged at me. I fired. 2 shots. Sent a mass. He went down. Chris immediately went to the woman, cutting her free. She ripped the tape off her mouth and started screaming. "You killed him. You killed my husband." My stomach dropped. "Ma'am, we received a 911 call. From next door. We heard through the walls." I tried to tell you. That's when it hit me. We were at 4738. The call was from 4736. Next door. Chris ran outside and radioed for an ambulance while I tried to process what the woman was saying through her hysterical sobs. He was playing a game. We do this thing where I pretend to be kidnapped, and he has to save me. It's just something we do. The door was unlocked because we were expecting this. We do this every few months. My hands were shaking. "Ma'am," he charged at us with a weapon. "Because you broke into our house. He thought you were real intruders. He was protecting me." The real 911 call was next door. We found out later the boyfriend had already left by the time we arrived. The girlfriend was fine. False alarm. But at 4738 Maple Grove Avenue, Donald Patterson was dead on his bedroom floor. The investigation cleared me. Everything was by the book. Wrong address, but reasonable force given the circumstances. The door was unlocked. He charged with a weapon. Textbook justified shooting. But here's the thing that destroys me. In the body cam footage, if you listen really carefully right before we enter, you can't hear the woman inside. She's not crying in terror. She's giggling because she thought it was part of the game. She thought her husband had called the police as part of their twisted roleplay. I killed a man who was trying to protect his wife from what he thought were home invaders. I quit the force 8 months later. Some nights I drive by that house. It's empty now. For sale. Has been for years. Nobody wants to buy the house where a cop killed an innocent man. But sometimes, when I drive by late at night, I swear I see someone in the upstairs window, just standing there, watching me. And I know it's him, still trying to protect his home. My name is Amy, and I made a 911 call when I was 17 years old. That was 11 years ago. The call is still active, and I don't know how to hang up. It was the summer of 2014. I was staying at my grandmother's farmhouse in rural Kansas while my parents were going through a divorce. Middle of nowhere. The nearest neighbor was 3 miles away. Grandma had gone into town for her weekly grocery run. I was alone, which I liked. It gave me space to think, to process everything falling apart at home. I was reading in the living room around 8 p.m. when I heard the scratching. At first, I thought it was the cat, but Whiskers was asleep right next to me on the couch. The scratching was coming from inside the walls. Old houses make noise, I told myself. Settling. Maybe mice. But then it started moving, following me. When I went to the kitchen, the scratching moved to the kitchen walls. When I went upstairs to my room, it followed me there too. Always scratching. Always exactly where I was. By 9 p.m., I was genuinely freaked out. The scratching had gotten louder, more frantic, and now I could hear breathing in the walls. I called 911. 911, what's your emergency? I think someone is in my house. In the walls. I keep hearing scratching and breathing. The dispatcher, a woman named Linda, stayed calm. Are you alone in the house? Yes. My grandmother is in town. I'm alone. Okay, honey. I'm sending a deputy to your location. Stay on the line with me until he gets there. Can you get to a room with a lock? I went to the bathroom and locked the door. Sat in the bathtub with the phone pressed to my ear. The scratching had stopped, but now I could hear something else. Footsteps. In the hallway outside the bathroom. Linda, someone's in the house. I can hear them walking. The deputy is 10 minutes away. Stay quiet. Stay hidden. Then the footsteps stopped right outside the bathroom door. The doorknob started to turn, slowly, testing if it was locked. I held my breath, tears streaming down my face. Amy, are you still there? Linda whispered through the phone. The doorknob stopped moving. The footsteps walked away, down the stairs. 5 minutes later, Deputy Morrison arrived. I heard him calling out as he entered the house. I unlocked the bathroom and practically fell into his arms. He searched the entire house. Every room, every closet, the attic, the basement. Nothing. There's nobody here, miss, he said. Place is secure. But I knew what I heard. Check the walls, I begged him. Please. Something was in the walls. He humored me. Found an access panel in the basement that led to a crawl space beneath the house. When he shined his flashlight in there, his face went white. Amy, you need to step back. In the crawl space, there were bones. Human bones. And they weren't old. Some still had tissue on them. What we learned later was worse. My grandmother's farmhouse had been built in 1952. In 1978, a drifter named Carl Brennan had murdered a family 3 counties over. He was never caught. Police eventually found evidence that he'd been living in the crawlspaces and walls of abandoned properties, moving around rural Kansas for years. They found his remains too, in that same crawlspace. He'd been dead for approximately 6 years. Heart attack, coroner said. But here's where it gets impossible. The scratching I heard that night, the breathing in the walls. Carl Brennan had been dead since 2008. I moved out the next day. My grandmother sold the house. It was demolished in 2015. But here's the thing I never told anyone. Not the police. Not my family. Not even therapists. That 911 call from 2014, it never disconnected. I still have the same phone number. And at exactly 8:47 p.m. every single night, my phone shows an active call. No ringtone. No number. Just an active call that never ended. If I answer, I hear static. And underneath the static, breathing. And scratching. I've tried changing numbers. Changing phones. Nothing works. Because I think whatever was in those walls Whatever Carl Brennan became after he died in that dark crawl space, it followed me out, and it's still on the line, waiting. Last week, I woke up at 3 a.m. to my phone on the nightstand. The screen was on. Active call. I didn't answer, but I heard it anyway, coming from inside my walls. Scratching, and a voice distorted and broken. "Amy, don't hang up." I'm moving again next week, but I don't think distance matters anymore. Some calls are never meant to end. These 3911 calls remind us that sometimes the most terrifying moments happen when we're crying out for help. And sometimes that help comes too late. Or worse, it comes to the wrong place. If you have your own disturbing 911 story, leave it in the comments below. And remember, keep your doors locked tonight, because you never know who might be listening.